Okay, you guys, so here's the deal. I was watching Mary from Mary Moods and Makeup. I will link her channel up here and down below. And she was doing a video because she said she didn't think she had a very big highlighter collection. And so she decided to go looking through it and see what she had, and discovered she had actually quite a large highlighter collection. That seems to happen to us makeup lovers. And it got me thinking about mine. I keep all of my makeup in these two like carts here. They're like 10 drawer, so they're not very deep. And then I have one little bin in my, like a shoebox, the plastic shoebox kind of thing in my linen closet here, that has some makeup in it, like some like backup stuff, you know. And I have been on a journey. I've been working through my home. It's happening slowly, but it is happening. And I'm so thankful. It's making such a big difference in moods and everything around here. But going through things and really questioning whether I need to keep them or not. Like, are they bringing me joy, or are they something extra that I have to find space for, or that when I look at them, like, oh, I really should use that, you know, but I never really get around to using, and things like that, where it's like, then it becomes, the joy is gone from those objects. And so what is the point in keeping them? Do you know what I'm saying? And so I decided that, you know what, I want to look at my highlighter collection and see how big it is, because my makeup drawers, and in this particular drawer right here, the second, oh, you can't even see it, it's the second drawer down in this first cart, is where I keep my bronzers, blushes, and highlights. It has been so heavy. I'm afraid, like, my carts are getting so heavy that I'm afraid they're going to break. And that's not good. And also, it just makes me realize how much extra I have that I really don't need, because it's, a lot of it are things that I'm not using and getting enjoyment from. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go through these highlighters with you and be very realistic about what I'm keeping and what I'm not. I also want to say I am going to be doing this with all of my collection. It's not going to be like videos right in a row of doing this, but just as I feel like I want to. And I want to know from you guys if you would be interested in me doing, I have done previously, like a gently used makeup giveaway. If that's something you would be interested in, please let me know. And that way, anything that can be sanitized that I am not going to keep, I will sanitize, and I can do a giveaway with those items. So you guys let me know how you feel about that, if that's something you'd be interested in. Obviously, if I do it and it's not something you're interested in, you wouldn't have to, you know, enter it. But if it's something that you're like, yeah, I would totally be down for that, then let me know. All right, so let's get into this. I think we will start with single highlights. And I'll just start first off with the Essence Pure Nude. It is the original one. It's called Be My Highlight. And I use this thing pretty much daily, and literally have been using it for probably almost 3 years. That's ridiculous. It's been definitely at least 2. But this highlight is just, I like a more natural highlight. And that's the thing too. I need to be realistic about what do I like to wear. I don't like anything glittery. So this is just like, you see that slight shift. If you are a natural highlight kind of girl, if that's the kind of thing that you think, you know, whether you don't wear highlight now but would like to dabble in it, or you are somebody who likes it but you like subtle, I'm telling you, this is my favorite. It has been in my favorites for, I think, the past 2 years. And yeah, I absolutely love it. So that one's going nowhere. Next up is the Becca Champagne Pop. So if you don't know, Becca has gone out of business, but I think somebody took on some of their highlights, right? So it looks like this in the pan. Get the kind of the look there. This is what it looks like on my finger. And then we'll do it right here next to my Essence. Now, as you can see, much more gold, and it is super shiny. Like, when I put that on my face, I feel like it's just too much. But I've been like, it's my only Becca highlight, and, you know, what if they don't make them anymore? And, you know, whatever, it's so beautiful, and Champagne Pop, it's such like a cult classic, you know, like, or cult favorite, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. I don't use it. When I put it on, I don't like what it looks like on me. So what is the point? I do love the packaging, I do have to say. There's a mirror in here, and it's heavy and nice, it's got the metal, but I don't use this, and I'm not going to either, and I know that, so why keep it around? So that is going to the side. Next up is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Pearlized Lunch Money. So Lunch Money is another kind of well-known as far as highlights go. It's so soft. I cut out there because of I was trying to get the lid back on and it would not go on. That does kind of annoy me about this packaging, I'm not gonna lie. So that's what this is like on my finger. And then here's what it looks like. Now this I love. It's just more simple. You can tell like this has like a thicker, like more gritty formula, and so it just doesn't look as nice on my skin. But this one looks great. It's a lot like the Essence Pure Nude, but it's just a little blingier, but nothing like crazy. So I do like that. That's sticking around. Up next, let's do Ofra. So first off, I have the Star Island. It looks like this. Another more just like kind of a champagne kind of shade. Looks like this on my finger. And looks like this on my hand. Very, very similar to Lunch Money. However, it is one that when I put it on, I really like it. So you can kind of see this one is just a lot more gold tone, the Becca. I mean, I keep pointing back to that, but you can see that these ones are more similar. That's more what I like. So I will keep that one. And you're probably like, okay, well, do you need a ton of the exact same thing? Well, no, not really, but they're all things that I will reach for, and they are all slightly different. Actually, those progressively get a little blingier, so, you know, gives me options like that. Also, Ofra this is the collaboration with Nikki Tutorials, and it's called Glow Goals. So this is a very pink toned highlight. Looks like that. And then we'll just run it kind of down here. Now, I think you will be able to tell by looking at that, it does not look good on my skin tone at all. It's too pink. It's like a weird shade. When I put it on, I feel like I just look like I have a weird pink thing on my cheek. It's not like highlight to me. It's like a very obvious, look at this strange colored thing on my cheek. So I don't think I need to keep that. And I was like, oh, but it's Ofra. Who cares? If you're not gonna wear it, why would you want to keep it? So that one will go. Next up is the Kaleidos Ray Rider Space Age is they're the Space Age highlighters, but Ray Rider is the shade. And my cousin Debbie sent me this, and okay, oh, so here's what it looks like inside. She knows me well, we'll just say that. And you can probably tell by the way I'm smiling. Okay, so this one we will put up here. Do you see that? Now, it has a little more of that gold tone, but not like this. It's much more soft and smooth, where the Becca is more like a chunky kind of gold. So Ray Rider, my face is in there. Ray Rider has a little bit more of that gold tone than the other highlights that I've pointed out that I love and I'm keeping, but I like it. It's a gold tone that works for me. So I am definitely keeping that. Okay, my hand's been cleaned off and ready for some more swatching. Next up is the Makeup Geek, which Makeup Geek is going out of business. Midnight Sun highlighter. So I got this when I put together some Makeup Geek like single shadows I made into palettes, and I also picked this up because I didn't hear anything from the brand, so I wanted to try a few things. So this is the color. As you can see, it's pretty dark. So compared to like the other highlights I've been showing you. So it looks like this on my finger and this on my hand. Now, it is more goldish, obviously. This does not work for me in the winter or when I'm pale like I am right now. My face makeup I have on today is making me look a little more tan than I am, but my hands, you can see. But in the summer, this is stunning. So it is one that I absolutely love wearing in the summer. I took it with me to church camp last year, I'm pretty sure. I think it was one of the only ones I took with me and used it a ton. I absolutely love that highlight. So I will hold on to that puppy. Next up is the Michaela and Glamlight. I don't think it doesn't really have a name. Ooh, forgot the little papers in there. Also, something I'm deciding to do is I'm going to let go of packaging. I am terrible about keeping everything in its box. Well, that's annoying when you go to use it because you have to take it out every time and then put it back in. I'm like, why am I doing that? And it takes up so much space in my drawers. And like I said, I'm running out of room here, so I don't want to do that. So this is what the shade looks like in the pan. This is a drier formula. This is what it looks like on my finger. So almost to me, so let me put it on here. Almost more like a topper highlighter, if that makes any sense. It's a lot more sheer. You can build it, but it starts out very sheer and just subtle. And I love that. I would rather have something that I put on and it's just a little bit, and if I want more, I can add to it, than be like, whoa, right away, you know? So I am keeping that. And I got this from Alyssa Pope. I won her big, it was the whole collection with the lip glosses and the palette and the lashes. Oh my gosh, so happy. So yeah, it makes me excited every time I think about it. So that was all like my single pressed highlighters. So next up, I have just 2 powder highlights. So I will show you those, or like loose highlights. First off is the Juvia's Heroine highlight. So let me get a little bit of this. It comes like this, in case you don't know. And this is what it looks like on my finger. And this is what it looks like on my hand. It is gorgeous. I should have left it a little more intense at first to show you, because it can go on real intense but then sheer out really easily. So I like that too. Even if you get it on a little intense, it does sheer out really well. So I love that highlight. Isn't it funny? Like it starts to just look like you're gonna be like, wow. And then it kind of does start to make you think, why do we have so many of the same kind of products? Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of them, no one would ever know that you're wearing something different than you were, you know, the day before or something. Now there are certain products that, you know, people see on you and it's like, you have people ask you about it. And honestly, my Essence Pure Nude, I do have people ask, they're like, you look like you're just glowing. Like you just have this natural glow. And I'm like, it's that. Like that's mostly what I'm looking for out of a highlight, but that's not what everybody wants. So, but this I do love and I am keeping. And then the other powder, like loose powder highlight I have is this J-Cat Beauty Luxe Pro Powder. And does it have a name? I don't see a name on it. I can't remember if it does or not, but it's a Pearl Luminizer. It looks like this. You're like, just show it to us, we don't care. So it comes like this. It is a little messy. Like I usually take, because it's usually kind of not crusted, but caked on here. Crusted sounds disgusting. Caked on here. And so I like tap my brush on that and then tap it into the cap. And that's how I use it. The littlest amount goes such a long way with this stuff. Trying to get, so it's not gonna look like much on my finger. It's gonna look like some powder basically. It's a little shimmer to it, but it's what it does on your face. And I need to redo my nails, so please ignore that. Now, if you see that, you might go, oh, that's a little chalky. It's light, people with very fair skin, this would be fantastic for you. If you're worried about if things pull a little too gold and look a little too dark on your skin, you will love this because it is not like that at all, as you can see, but also it shears out so beautifully and definitely gives that glow. I actually bought this on the recommendation of Jessica Baron, and she had talked about when she has it on, it's one of those highlights that it's like, does she have highlight on? No. Surely she must have highlight on. Like you're not quite sure because it's just that natural and beautiful looking of a glow. I agree. I love this. I bought this with a gift card from my son that I got for Christmas, maybe last year. And I absolutely love it. So, and this thing will last you your entire life and like to your you're into your great grandkids. I swear, it's like so much. So I love that and I'm keeping it. Okay, I have a couple like liquid cream highlights. So first I will show you the MAC Strobe Cream, and this is in Pink Light. And little squeezy tube here. Woo, I just got way too much. That's okay. So it looks like this, kind of consistency of like a thin lotion. And then this is what it looks like on the skin. Do you see that just like pearly glow? You can use this under foundation or mixed with your foundation if you want like just a glowy look. I'm very oily, so I would not do that, but you can use this underneath like your foundation if you want a very subtle like glowiness to your cheeks and stuff, to the high points where you would put highlight. It's magical. I love it. And so it is going absolutely nowhere besides back in my drawer because I love it. And this summer I plan to do a lot more of like just the very simple, like creamy kind of products and kind of tone things down a little because I tend to still go pretty full on with makeup for summer. And I don't know, I'm starting to not feel that quite so much. And yeah, so yeah. All right. So next would be the Benefit High Beam. And this is just a little, I think this is like a deluxe sample size, I think. And so it's satiny pink complexion. It looks like this. And it has a tiny little brush. So I'm just gonna brush a little right there. And rub that in. Very similar to the MAC. Now the MAC has dried down, not tacky. The Benefit one is a lot thicker, but it does dry down as well. But they are very, very similar. So I'm thinking I'm gonna let the Benefit High Beam go because I love the MAC one so much. And I don't feel like I need two products that are so close like that. So you can see there's the MAC, there's the Benefit. I feel like the MAC one also shears out, or not shears out, but like blends out a lot easier than the Benefit one does. Wow. And so yeah, it just makes it easy for me to kind of say, you know what, I don't need both of these. And then this is the Grande Glow Pumping Liquid Highlighter in French Pearl. Now, there's a funny story behind this because I got this in a giveaway and I decided to use it as an inner corner highlight and was not thinking about that it is plumping. Don't put this near your eyes because it does have that minty, you know, kind of plumping thing. All of a sudden I was like, wow, my eyes feel like they're kind of burning. Like this has an interesting smell. Almost like, it's pretty chemical-like. I better stop sniffing it like that. Ooh, girl. Anyway, this has a giant, strange doe foot. And we'll just go ahead and get a little bit on here. So there it is there. And then when you start to shear it out some, it has a little more of that goldish color than as opposed to the pinky. So a little bit different of a tone, and it looks so beautiful on the skin. I absolutely love it. So this is definitely, I think, going to be a great summer highlight. And yeah, so I am excited. I am definitely keeping it. And then the last thing before we get into like my palette type ones is this Trestique mini highlight stick, and it's Maldives Luminescent. So it looks like this. And then this is what it looks like on the skin. And again, you can shear it. This is a more creamy, where these ones have like more of like that liquidy kind of feel. This one has a more creamy because it's a stick. And it's kind of more of that champagne tone. So these ones are more pinky, like the MAC that I'm keeping. This one has a more gold tone, the Grande one. And then this one is more champagne, and I love that. So it's a keeper. Okay, I will say, I know I've got a couple like eyeshadow palettes that have a highlighter in it. Like off the top of my head, I can think of the Too Faced Watermelon palette has one, and which, I mean, actually that's a little face palette that breaks off, like they're magnetized to each other, but I didn't pull that out, and because I'm not getting rid of it. And the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette, the original one I have, that has a highlighter in the center. And I can't remember if I've got some other palettes that have highlighters in them or not. But if we get to that point, that'll be in with eyeshadow stuff anyway. Like, I'm not going to pull it out extra for, or separate for highlight. But, so now we're getting into some highlight palette type things, though, that might be mixed with a blush, you know, like face palette kind of things. So first off is this Pacifica. And this is Glimmer Shimmer Highlighter and Blush in Glimmer Shimmer and Firelit. And so looks like this. Now all of the Pacifica duos I've gotten have been from Ipsy, actually 2 of them, and one Senia sent me. So that is where I've gotten those from. So this is what it looks like in the pan. And then this is my most recent one that I got in a, so that's a pretty kind of champagne, maybe leaning slightly more gold, but mostly champagne tone. One of the ones that I got most recent, I think it was the most recent one that I've gotten in a Ipsy, which it's been a while, but I am going to keep this as a maybe, and here's why. I feel like I remember when I tried using this blush that it was way too light for me, like barely shows up on my skin. So I want to give it a try again, because if the blush does not show up on me, then I'm not going to keep this palette when I've got other powder highlights that are very similar to this. You know what I mean? Like, why keep this whole palette if somebody else could get enjoyment out of both things from it? So that is going to be in a maybe. I want to try it out and, you know, see what it looks like. Next up is this Catrice California in a Box bronzer and blush palette. This, oh my gosh, this has gone with me so many places. This definitely goes to church camp with me. And so yeah, there is a highlight in it. Now, as you can see, I mean, I'm about to hit pan on like these bronzers and like this blush. Yeah, I mean, it's a good palette, you guys. I don't know. I think it's still available. I got it from Ulta. You'd have to check, but oh my gosh, I love this thing. But anyway, so this is the highlight in it. I don't think they have names, do they? No, but this is the Malibu Beach Collection is the name of the palette. And then this is what the highlight looks like. So it is more of a gold tone, just slightly deeper than this one. But looks very pretty on my summer skin. So that makes it, I really enjoy like these more like peachy kind of tones on my skin in the summer. And that highlight just pairs beautifully with it. So this is going absolutely nowhere. I love this thing. Next up is this little Estee Lauder Pure Color Envy Cheek Palette in Glow. I got this last year. Not just this past Christmas, but the one before. I won in a whole big Estee Lauder gift set from, and it's their holiday, one of their holiday collections, from Barbara Jean from Age is Just a Number. And you guys, I love this so much. It was in my favorites because I feel like I'm going to have to figure out how to get another one because you can't just go buy them. So it looks like this. And this is the shade of the highlight. So that's what it looks like on my finger. And then, now as you can see, it is a completely different tone than these. It has like a peachy kind of bronzy tone. It is so pretty. And the weird thing is, it even works on like my winter skin when I'm like really, not really light. I'm never super, super light, but you know, fairly light. And which seems strange to me because those kind of tones usually don't look good on me, but there is something about it. It's magical. So it is going nowhere. It's staying with me. Next is the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. And I have this on today. I have the bronzer, blush, and highlight on. And my face is getting a little oily. This has been on for a long time. Actually, I did a video where I recorded this look. So if you haven't seen that yet and are interested, check it out. I did a video. It was all like a full face of new or, you know, rarely used products in my collection. So, and there was a little mishap. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. But this is what the palette looks like. And Starlight. So I actually, what's the word I'm trying to say? Swatched these in that video. But so this is Starlight, the first one I'm going to show you. So definitely has, it's like a pinky orange shift. It's gorgeous. And then Satin Sheets is this other one, which looks like this down here. This is what it looks like on my finger. And then this is what it looks like on my hand. So this is more of a goldy orange, like a peachy gold shift. They are such beautiful highlights, and I love everything about this palette. It smells so dang good. So yeah, obviously keeping this. And then here I have the Private Society Key Essentials Total Face Palette. It looks like this. And the highlighter for that is right here. So you can see it's a whole face palette. Look at that. Looks like this on my finger. And like this on my skin. It's a very pretty tone, much less gold than this one. It's just got, it's a lighter gold tone, and it is very, very pretty on the skin. So keeping that. Okay, only 4 more to go. So hopefully you're hanging in there. First up is the KVD Alchemist Holographic palette. And this is a face and eye highlighter palette. I will say I do not use this really on my face. I use it for my eyes. So you can see the different shifts there. There's like a, you know, a blue, a green, a purple, like a pinky, peachy orange. So this is super fun to me for the eyes. I don't, like I said, I don't use it on my face because it's a little more wild. Like I said, I like the little more natural. So that wouldn't be it. But I will keep this because I really do like it for the eyes. And so even though it's technically highlighter, I like it for my eyes. So yeah, but I wanted to pull it out with my highlighters because technically it is. Okay, next up is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora palette and Aurora Glow Kit, if we're being technical here. And these are the shades. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch them for you. Okay, so from the top of my knuckles right up here down is Eclipse, Luna, Spectra, Helia, Orion, and Lyra, which Lyra is this orange one down here in case you can't see on the angle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So very pretty, very bold, and more to me like a fun, same thing, like definitely good for the eyes and occasional things for the cheeks, more for like if I'm doing like a really fun look. Or some of the shades though, you can, you know, like the more peachy shades and stuff, you can kind of get them to work. At least that's how I feel for me. I'm going to say for me, I can get them to work, you know, to be just a little more out there, but not like super crazy. So I'm going to wait a minute to tell you anything more about that because I also have this Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting palette and Luminatrix. Is that what it's called? Luminatrix maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so the colors in that look like this. So you may see a similarity. So I'm actually going to swatch them next to their counterparts from this palette so that you can see like the similarity to them. Okay, so these are the Wet n Wild ones. Let's see. The top one up here is, what is that? Sweet Peony is what you're seeing here. So that's a counterpart to one of the ones from the Aurora Glow palette. So that's kind of the same as Luna. And then the next one down is the green one, which is Wild Cosmos here. It's here. So you can see in comparison to Helia in this one. I don't know why I keep putting that little sleeve back in and driving myself nuts. Anybody else do these things? And then the next one is Diamond Lily in the Wet n Wild. And that is comparable to Orion in the Aurora Glow Kit. So that's the blues here. So this is Wet n Wild. No, I lied. This is the Wet n Wild down here. I keep showing them to you backwards. I'm sorry. The Wet n Wild ones are down on the bottom down here. So that is, yeah, this one is the Wet n Wild, and then this. And then the last one is Blushing Azalea. And then Lyra. And those are here. So that's the Aurora Glow Kit, and that is the Wet n Wild. So the Wet n Wild typically are slightly less intense, but pretty dang close, right? Pretty dang close. So it's hard for me on that one because one of these was a gift. Woo. And I have a hard time with parting with gifts. But at the same time, I feel like this person, it's my cousin Debbie. She's amazing. She sent me a million wonderful things, which I use all the time. But to be realistic, these are not shades that I wear all the time. They're more for like fun, or that I wear on my eyes, or that kind of thing. And since this one has 4 shades and this one has 6, I think she would probably, if she was choosing, she would say, well, yeah, keep the one with more shades since it's already got all those shades anyway, right? So, Debbie, don't be mad at me. I hate doing stuff like this. But honestly, you guys, if I give something to you or you get it in a giveaway or something like that, and it ends up being something that's not bringing you joy anymore, it's okay to pass it on. My feelings will not be hurt by that at all, because I don't want you to keep something hanging around just because you feel like you should. And if it brought you joy when I first gave it to you, then it served its purpose. So it's okay to let it go. And someone else might get great joy from it now after that. So because of that, I am going to let the Wet n Wild one go, because again, those 4 shades basically are in this palette. And so since this one has an extra 2, it just makes sense to keep the one with the more shades, right? And it actually takes up a lot less space than this one, because it's like the same width, but it's got all that extra, and there's 6 in here and 4 in here. So yeah. Okay, and the very last palette is a similar situation. This palette was gifted to me by Senia, and I think it is a beautiful palette, but you guys, I pulled it out and I have never even used it. And I actually, when I started thinking about it, I believe I had this palette once before that I got from someone used, and I used it a little bit, but didn't really use a lot. So I believe I had decluttered it at one point. And so that is the Sephora Luminizing palette. So this is, I've got the box for it and everything. It's brand new. And so it has never been swatched, nothing like that. Can I even open it? I didn't know if it was sealed. So this is what it looks like. Brand new, never swatched, nothing like that. And I just hate to dip my fingers into it when I know I've got, as you saw with all the other highlighters, pretty much these colors, and like some of these are going to be way too dark for me anyway, but I've got some of the pinky tones like that, and the, you know, lighter tones, like the Michaela one I feel is going to be a lot like that. And, you know, so it doesn't make sense to me, I feel like, to, you know, put my fingers all over this palette and probably not use it. And so for that reason, I am going to move this one to my giveaway bin. I'm going to do separate. If I do a, like a gently used giveaway, I'm going to do that separate from anything that I have that hasn't been used. I will do like a different giveaway with that, because I'd rather do like one giveaway that's all new products, and then do like a, you know, gently used, sanitized giveaway, if that sounds good to you guys. That way it's more than one giveaway anyway, so who would argue with that, right? But yeah, I'm having a real hard time getting this back in the box. So as you can see here, I've got the box, the nice little inner packaging that keeps it safe and all that good stuff. In fact, one end of the box is still sealed. So that, since it is like new and beautiful, that will go into my giveaway bin so that I can, you know, pass that on and give it to somebody else. So that brings me down to giveaway bin. 4, so the Wet n Wild, the Ofra, the Becca, and the Benefit highlights to do in a gently used giveaway. This is going to be a test to see if the blush works for me. If it doesn't, that will end up going into the giveaway too. So actually what I will do is I will show you when I go through my blushes, I will show this palette again and let you know then what I decided to do with it. And other than that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 highlight palettes. I've got these liquid and like kind of a cream here. So there's, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8. I've got the 2 powder ones. So 10. I don't know how to count. I have 11 here. I've got 12 with the Super Shock, 13 with my Kaleidos, 14 with my Ofra, 15 Michaela and Glamlight, 16 Makeup Geek, and 17 Essence. So that is still 17 highlighters in my collection, aside from even like the couple that are in some eyeshadow palettes. But those ones I actually typically don't use that much either. So, you know, I just consider them more with the eyeshadow. Hold up, wait a minute. I lied to you guys. I didn't mean to, but I did. I forgot I have this Sydney Grace highlight in Swinging Vines because it's a single, you know, like in a pan that I need a magnetic palette for. So all of my Sydney Grace makeup, or, you know, that I got in the mystery bag I did, wow, can't talk. It doesn't have a home. It stays in that bag and I forget about it and it's terrible. I need to get a magnetic palette. So, and put her on there. As you can see, she can sheer out because she's real pigmented. And so beautiful pinky shade and different than any of the other highlights that I have. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming that I wasn't doing very well with apparently since I'm forgetting things. Here we go. So you guys let me know what you think of my collection. How do you think I did letting go of a few things? I feel like I made sensible decisions on them and still have plenty of things. And then again, if I notice that I am never ever touching these things, I will go through them again. And I'm going to keep doing that because it just doesn't make sense to have all this stuff sitting here weighing and where I'm like afraid to open the drawers. And then I'm not using things because they're so crammed in there you can't even see. So I'm just reaching for the same things that are in the front all the time. And so yeah, like this face palette has been being neglected and it's beautiful. I love what it looks like on my skin. And so I don't want to do that anymore. I want to use my things and enjoy them. So yeah, I'm excited to hear what you guys think. What, I'm sure eyeshadow palettes will probably be my last thing because to me, that's the most fun. And so, I like to keep that for last, but I'm thinking next, maybe, what do you think we should do? Should we do like bronzers or blushes? You guys let me know what you would like to see my next one of these be, and we will go from there. All right, thank you so much. I am so thankful for all of these beautiful products I have, whether they have, you know, are things that I've bought or they've been gifted to me or I've won in giveaways, whatever it is. And like I said, these things have all brought me joy at some point. Even sometimes just the act of receiving something, even sometimes you get something that you already have, but there's just something like that excitement and that joy that you feel when someone gives you something that makes it all worth it. That's like what gift giving is really about anyway. And so yeah, I am thankful for the joy that these products bring me or have brought me, and some of them now it's time for them to bring someone else joy. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.